Good afternoon and welcome to Adventure Sean, where today my adventures are continuing here in Scotland with a visit to something that I've wanted to come and see for quite a few years. It's always fascinated me ever since I watched a documentary about it on TV, and here it is in person. It's the Falkirk Wheel that was completed in 2002, and it's a boat lift, one of only two boat lifts here in the United Kingdom, but the only one in the world to be a wheel like this. And I'm looking forward to actually seeing this in action. And not only that, getting into a boat and going for a bit of a tour around the Falkirk Wheel so we can actually see it in operation from on board one of the boats as well. But yeah, look at the structure of it just behind me. It was actually completed as part of the Millennium Link project, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to learning more about the Falkirk Wheel today. So firstly then, why the name, the Falkirk Wheel? Well, that's quite a simple one really, and that's because of its location here in the town of Falkirk in Scotland. So it's named after the place where of course it's located. And when this opened in 2002, it actually connected two different canals for the first time since the 1930s. Those canals being the Forth and Clyde Canal and also the Union Canal. So back when they decided to regenerate central Scotland's canals and reconnect Glasgow with Edinburgh, they actually decided to create a dramatic 21st century landmark structure to reconnect the different canals. Instead of just simply recreating the historic lock flight, they decided to do something a little bit different, and of course it's made this absolutely brilliant tourist attraction around here that many people come to visit every single year, of course helping the economy in the area. And shortly I'm going to be making my way over here, stepping on board one of the boats and getting to actually go up there on the Falkirk Wheel and experience it. But it's a very dramatic structure and it looks amazing, but how exactly does it work? So it really is a fascinating story to just how this manages to work and of course transport the boats up to the top there. So this fantastic diagram here shows us exactly how the wheel works and how the water actually stays in the wheel. As we can see there, it's fascinating, isn't it? You've got these sections just here on the sides, and if I show you that on the actual wheel itself, you can see the top section just there, of course designed to keep the water inside there. It's fascinating, isn't it? Like I said, it's the only one of these in the world. And yeah, you can see down here it tells us all about how they keep the water in. So the gates lie flat to let boats into the wheel, so they'll drop down whilst they go in. The gates then rise to hold back the water on either side, as we can see there, so they sort of lift up to the side. Water is pumped from the gap between the gates, and then of course that allows the wheel to turn, and we can see that in action there with one of the boats going up and another one of the boats coming down. But this is fascinating. It's actually been designed to last for at least the next 120 years. The wheel's 35 metres high, which is the same height as 8 double-decker buses. And as we can see here as well, it can lift loads of 600 tonnes. That's the weight of 100 African elephants. There we go. In just 15 minutes, the wheel moves boats from one canal to the other. That's a lot quicker than the half a day that you would have needed to go through the old locks that used to stand here. Fascinating stuff, isn't it? So this is the point then where the canal boats make their way down and into the locks just here, which of course lifts them up over here, where we can see this one is waiting to go forward and up there onto the Falkirk Wheel. So I'm going to make my way around the corner and let's see this beauty in action. So there's already a boat in the top section, and this one's just making its way in the bottom here. So I thought that canal boat was going to go in just, but it's actually the boat here that I'm going to be going on shortly that's making its way in. I imagine they have to keep to the time schedules just to make sure that everything goes well. And shortly, we're going to see this start to move. Like I say, the other one's already in at the top, so I imagine it should start to move shortly. So as you saw there, both boats have actually made their way in. And as I was talking about just from the diagram that we saw, them two blockades have now moved up, trapping the water inside. I imagine we'll be seeing some movement very soon. They're just doing all the final checks to make sure that everything's okay before we see this turning round. How awesome was that? To see the Falkirk Wheel in operation was absolutely brilliant. Just standing there watching that amazing piece of engineering in action is incredible. Not only does it do its job and serve a purpose of connecting the two different canals on these multi-levels, but also it's an amazing piece of engineering to just watch. It's a spectacle. People can stand all around here and watch it in action. And things are about to get even better. I've actually booked a boat trip, which was just under £10 for the 1 hour tour. There is a cheaper one that you can do, which is just 30 minutes, but this is the full 60-minute tour where I'm going to get on the boat, take a trip round on the Falkirk Wheel up to the top. We'll then go along the canal, turn around, come back through the tunnel, onto the wheel again and come back down and get some absolutely awesome views. Now, of course, to comply with social distancing, you do need to pre-book, and I need to wear a face covering inside the boat as well. So here we go. Come and join me, a bit windy, for a trip round on the Falkirk Wheel. Looking forward to this.
Half an hour or so, we'll be up here 27 metres above our starting point on the Forth and Clyde Canal. We're now moving at 4 miles an hour over the reinforced concrete aqueduct. There's just over 100 metres between here and the tunnel, dead ahead of us. We'll go right through that and turn around before heading back and taking a look at the view that's right behind you now. You might have noticed that there are 2 tourist boats in service at the Falkirk Wheel, each with slightly strange names. Archimedes and Antenna. Did you see which one you are on today when you got on? Who discovered something that's very important for the operation of the wheel?
Any floating object displaces its own weight of fluid.
Okay, that might need a bit of explanation. Archimedes' principle says that when an object is placed in water, for example the boat you are sitting in now, it displaces its exact own weight in water. The amount of water that moves out of the way to make room for us is equal in weight to the boat itself. That might sound quite simple, but it's actually really important for the smooth operation of the Falkirk Wheel. I just have time to share some of the facts and figures of the Falkirk Wheel. It was opened in May 2002 by Her Majesty the Queen, although she never actually rode it like you have today. There are 15,000 bolts in structure, pressed into 45,000 bolt holes, and each one was tightened by hand. The two gondolas between them hold 1 million litres of water and can lift the weight of 100 elephants.
A nice 60-minute relaxing boat ride there, enjoying all that the Falkirk Wheel has to offer. Absolutely fantastic, really enjoyed that. I think it's brilliant to be able to get up there and experience it all. Going through the tunnel, seeing a little bit of the area, and of course learning about it as well with the narration on board was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, what a structure. I mean, just look at it, it's brilliant, isn't it, to see. I'd actually say that it's more impressive standing here, watching it from off the wheel, than it is actually riding on the wheel. And I was lucky enough to get there early and get in the front of the boat. I imagine if you're in one of the seats a bit further back, you don't really see loads at all. Don't get me wrong, you'll get the views, but being on the front and coming up towards the edge, especially coming back this way to come down on the wheel, was brilliant. But yeah, I'd probably say it's more impressive actually just standing down here and watching it spin round and do its thing. But there we go. Thank you very much for joining me for another vlog here on Adventure Sean. Always great to come and see some different stuff. Of course, lots of vlogs here on Adventure Sean from this trip to Scotland. I'm actually just going to drive a few miles down the road now to go and see another site that I've been looking forward to seeing. It's the Kelpies, which is two big statues that I'm going to make my way down there and check out now, and that'll be the next vlog coming up here on this channel. Gradually making my way up towards what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and that's actually climbing Ben Nevis, so I'm looking forward to that. It's the tallest peak in the United Kingdom, and I'm looking forward to giving that a go. A little bit worried for how it's going to go, to be honest, but yeah, it's going to be a real fascinating vlog, that one. But there we go, that's all for my trip here to the Falkirk Wheel, and that means it's time to get out there and have your own adventures. See you later.